Hey, good morning. How you doing? It's Sunday, which is a good thing and a bad thing too, because tomorrow's Monday. But hey, if you're free to do what you want today, I hope you enjoy it before you all have to go back to the grind tomorrow, right? This is just Average Schmo back once again to do the part 3 of unveiling the old LP vinyl records that my parents are going through and getting rid of. These, they had probably like 100 or more, just old vinyl albums from like the 30s through the 70s. A number of them were my grandparents. So there was like Lawrence Welk and some of the singers that were on that show and so forth. Stuff that, for lack of a better term, that the generations and time is kind of left behind. There's not a lot of people that listen to that. You don't have shows like that. Back in the day, you used to have shows like that on a regular basis, and those kind of stopped. Probably in the late 70s, early 80s, they kind of stopped doing shows. I mean, not only like Lawrence Welk, but they also had, they had Soul Train, and they had, what was the one there for a while that catered to, like the disco music and stuff like that. I don't remember what it was. But yeah, a lot of the, those shows fell off, so those groups from that era, there's not a lot of people that probably listen to it. I mean, some of the older generation might still, but they weren't really going to be like high demand or easy sells. So, I went through the albums and picked out the ones that I thought would be able to sell, that people might be interested in. And then I told my mom, the rest of them, just donate them to Goodwill. Let them sell them. If people buy them for a couple of bucks, then at least the money's going to a good cause, right? So, let's dive in to part 3. I'm thinking there'll probably be a part 4 and part 5, because I'm trying to limit the number that I do at a time. So without further ado, let's dive in. These all will be listed eventually on Mercari through my business, The Old Treasure Isle. My actual username on Mercari is jrymman. So you find something you're interested, find me on Mercari, find a listing of mine on Mercari, and then follow me on there. If you scroll down to Meet the Seller, you can then follow me, and then you'll be aware of everything that I have on there and everything I put on there. So when these eventually show up on there, you'll know about it. I am taking the time to go through, ones that look pristine. I'm only listening to, little parts of it here and there. But ones that have, smudges, I'm cleaning up. Ones that have superficial or obvious scratches, I'm playing through from front to back. And, if they only have an issue in a couple of places, I'm still going to sell them, at a bit of a discount, but then I'll note that in the description. Somebody that knows vinyl might actually know ways to kind of resurface them, or to fix spots where it might skip or something. Ones that it ends up being just too bad to where they're kind of not playable. Depending on the album, it might just be trash. But if it's something that's still halfway decent, what I might do is actually take the cover, take the vinyl out, and maybe just make kind of like a frame display, the album, the actual vinyl record, and then maybe print out like a high gloss photo of the artist and just put those in a box. Somebody might make a nice little collectible, because these are all the vintage albums. These are all the original pressing of these albums. So Okay, so that was the explanation. Let's go. First we have Conway Twitty. I've often heard some people refer to Conway as kind of the Elvis of country music. He had that very low, deep voice. It's got all the lyrics of the songs on the liner here. To put on the back. Pull it up real quick, take a look at it. A few smudges, a little dusty. A little superficial scratch there, but I don't know whether that caused an issue or not. I mean, this will be one that I'll probably listen to all the way through, just to be sure. Alright, which side of this opened? The top. But this is Conway Twitty's Southern Comfort. My mom was a huge Conway Twitty fan, and little tidbit of information about your Joe here, just your average Schmo. The actual technically the very first concert I ever went to by a big national performer was Conway Twitty, and I want to say, I believe it was at Hobart Arena in Troy, Ohio. I think I was like 12. My mom wanted to go to the concert, and my dad wasn't really keen on going, and my brothers were a bit older, so I kind of got volunteered to go. But from what I remember, it was a long time ago, but I remember it was still a good concert. Now, for me, for my musical preference, I don't really look at that as my first concert as far as my taste. My first concert I consider was on my 18th birthday. I went to see Metallica with the Cult opening up. But this has got Slow Hand, The Clown, The Boy Next Door, Love and Only Love, When Love Was Something Else, and on side 2 you got She Only Meant to Use Him, It Turns Me Inside Out, Southern Comfort, Something Strange, Got Into Her Last Night. I was the first. We'll keep this PG-13. I mean, I could have made another comment right there, but yeah, we'll keep PG-13. Alright. Second one. How about another Conway Twitty? This one is She Needs Someone to Hold Her When She Cries. It's got that song. It's got Sweet Memories, We Just Destroyed the World, Even the Bad Times Are Good, It's Not Love, Dim Lonely Places, Darling. That's a good song. I Don't Believe I'll Fall in Love Today, Each Season Changes You, Why Not Tonight, and Don't Cry Daddy. And we'll pull it out and look at it real quick. This is on the MCA record label. Yeah, this one looks really good. Like, really good. No, not even any smudges or anything. I mean, it's still a little dusty. It's weird how these, even being in the sleeves and everything, they can still get dusty over the years. So, we'll wipe them off. If you're a fan of Conway Twitty, there will be 2 up for sale eventually. Next, how about a little classic rock? Or some people might consider it even southern rock. We got Three Dog Night, Harmony. This one does have some scratches. Most of them looks pretty superficial, but there is quite a bit. Some of it might clean off. But that'll be one I listen to from front to back. This is one I could see if it doesn't play right, if there's too many spots where it wants to skip and so forth. Then I could see doing one of those like framed things with this. That album, and then put the vinyl, and then put a nice photo on this side. Alright, how about something for the kids, right? Yeah. How about an old classic, original press printing from Disneyland, we've got Walt Disney Presents Peter and the Wolf and the Sorcerer's Apprentice. Inside this is one of my records when I was little. You've got, I'm trying to hold it to where you can actually see it. You've got basically like a short, condensed little, telling the story of Peter and the Wolf and then the Sorcerer's Apprentice. Okay? And then, of course, you have the album. Disneyland Records. And these, amazingly, looks flawless. One little smudge here. I don't think that's really it's not a scratch, it's just a lot of dust on it. But yeah, so it's got Peter and the Wolf on one side and then Sorcerer's Apprentice on the other. This will be one that I will need to look at and see. I mean, being Disney, this might actually, it's even still got the like the reply card thing in it. This might be one that could actually fetch a decent price, you know. 1964 is when this was pressed. Alright, any musical fans out there? Anybody? How about some Jesus Christ Superstar? This is I believe it's a dual. Yeah, this is a dual album. Smudges, yes. Don't see any massive scratches on it. There's one little spot there that might cause an issue. It's also got, let's see if I can get it out of here. Comes with the little book here. That's basically, it looks like it's the actual, like the dialogue and so forth. I don't think it's the whole thing necessarily. Doesn't look like there's enough there to be the whole play. But that's kind of nifty. Nifty, neat, cool, whatever. Second one, same. It's got one little spot on that side. Overall, they look pretty good, though. Alright, how about a little King? RCA Records, we've got Elvis. Christmas album. Elvis is always a pretty big hit. He was pretty prolific when it came to Christmas music, from just classics to his own original material. The album looks like it's in pretty good shape. Originally sold for $2.49 under general merchandise. This was in 1970. Alright, some other country here. We got T.G. Shepherd. Contains the hit single Mr. DJ. This one is in kind of bad shape. Mostly smudges though, so I think most of it will clean up. Just have some scratches on it. But like I said, it'll be one that, you know, I'll listen through it. If it's in too bad of shape, then we'll do something else with it. Just back in the sleeve. Maybe. There we go. So. Alright, save this one for last. This one is probably not one that I'm actually going to sell. My mom suggested maybe seeing if maybe like the Troy Museum would be interested in it, so I'll have to look into that. Moving on, we got another musical. Original press recording of The Sound of Music. starring Julie Andrews and Christopher Plummer, conducted by Irwin Costal. Inside we've got a little book that talks all about The Sound of Music, the original Broadway production. Liner showing all the other like musical albums that you can get from RCA Victor Records. And then the album, oh, it's got some bad scratches on it though. Those might be a big issue on that side. There's one on this side. Yeah. I don't know about this one. This one might not play well enough to so this one, what I'd probably do is maybe use like a poster frame, put this in on one side, put the little book on one side, and then just put the album. Yeah, but once it's cleaned up, they might play. I don't know. All right, moving on. Smothers Brothers, comedy duo, musical duo. This is the album Mom Always Liked You Best. The album looks really good. Spot right there. Let's clean that off. One little tiny scratch right there that might cause one spot where it wants to skip. But like I said, somebody that knows how to handle and resurface vinyl. I know there's a way to do that. You might be able to clean it up. There we go. Old comedy there. Alright. The last one of this group might be another one that actually goes for a pretty high dollar. There are a lot of people that like to collect stuff. Oh, actually, take that back. I didn't realize there was another underneath it. This is 10 More Monster Hits. Front and back are the same. I hope it kind of told like the songs on the outside of it, but it doesn't. Album. Couple little spots, mainly smudges. This has got Sly and the Family Stone, Cliff Nobles, Gary Puckett and the Union Gap, the Buckinghorns, Booker T and the MCs, the Times, Mark Lindsay, Johnny Taylor, Ronnie Dyson, the Adrill Brothers, and Spiral Staircase, maybe? Yeah, I never heard about a lot of those. Huh? Before my time. Okay, alright, now what I was talking about. Here we have John F. Kennedy, a memorial album. Excellent picture on the front of what a lot of people consider to be one of the best presidents the country's ever seen. Of course, his most famous line is quoted right here at the top. Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. That was his inaugural address, January 20th, 1961. It's got a big article on the back talking about the president and the album itself. But this is a memorial album that captures all of his speeches. Actual speeches including the inaugural address, civil rights, Cuban rockets, Nixon-Kennedy debate, Alliance for Progress, New Frontier, Berlin Wall, etc. And it looks like when these albums were originally sold, they were all the royalties It says all royalties accruing to WMCA in an equal amount given by Premier Albums Incorporated are being donated to the Joseph P. Kennedy Jr. Foundation for research on mental retardation. So, and this album looks really good. One little spot there, I don't know whether that will cause an issue. Hopefully this plays through with no issues. Front to back. But yeah, a lot of people love Kennedy, collect John F. Kennedy memorabilia, so this might be something that somebody would really like to have in their collection. All right, and the last thing that I said, I'm not gonna try to sell. One, I don't know how much interest there would be in it, and two, I'm thinking that, like my mom said, maybe the Troy Museum might be interested in it. This is recordings from the Troy High School. We got one on black vinyl. Actually, it's still red. It's like a dark red vinyl that almost looks black. This is Troy High School a cappella and sophomore choirs. Charles E. West was the director, and this is the name of the program is The Creation by Joseph Hayden. This is on 33 1/3 RPM micro groove. This was manufactured by Century Records company in Saugus, California. We got side 1, side 2, and then side 3 and 4 are on this more of like a marble vinyl. They look in pretty good condition. I'll listen through them anyhow. But yeah, I think that might be something that the Troy Museum, or the city, or maybe even the high school itself might be interested in having. So I should put that off to the side. So that's it. That is part 3 of the vinyl record album unveiling. Like I said, I'm going to go through, listen to them, clean them up, get them as good as they can get. Ones that are too damaged that won't play, I'll look at making some kind of like poster framed, like collectible type things. Those obviously I won't be put on Mercari just because shipping would be a major hassle. So that would probably be more of a in-person sale. I guess if somebody was, if I did one up and they were really interested in it enough and they were willing to put the shipping and give me the extra time to get the proper box and everything, I'd still be willing to. I guess I'll gauge interest. When that comes up, if hopefully we'll get lucky and I won't have to do that with any of them. But if I do, then I'll post it. Follow the Old Treasure Isle on Facebook. That is my business page. So if I do that with one of these albums, once it's done, I'll post it on my page for the Old Treasure Isle, and then if somebody's interested, they can contact me through there, and then we'll deal with the logistics of shipping it out and so forth and price afterwards. Yeah, because if somebody's really interested, then I could put it on Mercari and then work in the shipping cost, and I'll let them know as soon as I do it so they can jump on there and get it through Mercari. Hopefully all of these will play just fine, and I'll just be able to list them as the albums they are through my Mercari Again, username jrymman. I also have a Poshmark account under that same username. You can go on and follow me on there if you look for apparel, especially you ladies. I buy a lot of overstock boxes, liquidation boxes, brand new clothing, designer labels, Calvin Klein, Casper, Tommy Hilfiger, Vince Camuto, just to name a few. So got a lot of clothes on there, brand new at anywhere from 30 to 50% off the MSRP. So that's it. Everybody have a great day. Try to enjoy it before we all have to go back to work. I'm kind of holding out, making sure I don't have to go anywhere before I go out and start cutting my jungle of a yard out there. It's on the bad side of this time of year is that you get that first hard rain, and then the grass just like wants to go crazy. You can mow it, and like 3 days later, it looks like you didn't even do anything. But just one of many things I want to try to accomplish today. But okay, that's it. As always, stay safe and stay healthy. Look out for yourself and those around you. We all do our little part. You know, the world and this country is a wonderful place. No matter how bad things get here, I still love it. Still love it. Of course, I guess I'm a little biased. I haven't actually been to any other countries. That's kind of a bucket list thing. Eventually, I'd like to get out of the United States and go someplace else, just to visit. Italy would be a nice place to go. Australia, as long as I don't get killed by the thousands of things that can actually kill you there. Where else? Switzerland. That'd be a nice place. Preferably in the summer, though. I'm sure it gets pretty cold there. Yeah, there's other places too, but that's a good starting list, I think. All right, enough rambling. Everybody, take it easy. See ya.